We are in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible, because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and Sixth Shield General, 4th in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother. Majo. Barak. Yeshabiam, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to Priest General Lahab.
Come on, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel, and also please go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West.
Shalom, Israel. It's time to come get your full dose of truth for the week. You got Mondays, history class, taught by Officer 500 Shariwan and Officer 500 Ahabawan. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, you got Word to the Unwise podcast from 6 to 7 p.m. Followed by the main event, Captain and Priest Hadarya Allah, teaching scripture breakdown, the Bible like you never heard it before. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Wednesday, we got Priest and Officer 1000 Awaja teaching you all about the law. Tune in. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, you got myself, Priest and Officer 5000 Kazak Amaf, joined by Priest and Officer 500 Barak Yah, teaching you the Brotherhood class from 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, learn to speak in the Holy Tongue, the Lashawan Kodash class, taught by Officer 1000 Katab. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, one West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, one West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, one West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers got them killers with me. And I don't fuck with every spot cause it's too iffy. Real motherfucking prophet cause the Lord with me. But don't get that shit twisted, I got Drake's with me. Yeah, bitch, and that whole 50. Run up on me wrong, you gon' catch 60. Wait, you gon' catch 20. The other 30 for your homies, bitch, I got plenty. And I'll shoot this motherfucker till that clip empty. Taking orders from your bitch, you a fucking simpy. Shit, should be televised. The way I'm cutting niggas up, bitch, I'm a samurai. Niggas swear they in the truth, but telling hella lies. Stumping like you Greek, bitch, you Hellenized. The revolution gon' be televised. And what I see in my vision gon' leave you petrified.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers lead cowards and all. So fuck a gas stop, I came with 6 pumps in my car. My niggas ready to swing, we like kids at the park. So touch a chair around this bitch and we breaking your jaw. They think we Christian but we not, nothing about us is soft. I don't know what you niggas on, but that shit get you off. We booted up, we came to take zones for real. Black 40 under my garment, I be dressed to kill. Fourth dimension sit linger, I be fresh for real. Putting scripts on your corners, but these here ain't pills. We rock covers, you official if you know those drills. Bread and water, you official if you know those meals. Yeah, you niggas soldiers get rolled over. You got police in your pocket, I got a judge in my holster. Oppressors out to get us, so remain sober. Or be chained to them chains till there's nothing that remains of us. A cult leader like Christ, we got the same culture. I bang on them, tell my enemies the reign's over. I up the cig and keep pulling like a chain smoker. The game ain't changed, one West stayed the same on them.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Niggas talking prophets, yeah, we got plenty. We the reason why it's Israelites around the city. Kazak tells a rock, bring Shamar out. We bout to slide on them, see what niggas talking about. Young dog think he wise cause he a Kim head. That shit lame, they didn't survive, nigga, Kim is dead. Where I'm from, little nigga, is a dirty game. I pledge allegiance to Yahweh, bitch, I'm UPK. Huh, nigga, let's talk bodies. Set up on your corner, wake up everybody. Big priest, until I'm dead deceased. The mission is complete until y'all off the street. Saw y'all on the internet, stumping down the street. But take the poor and the weak. Touch your sister or a brother, you gon' be sleep. But take the poor and the weak.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Fucking with the brothers, then I'm giving out major pain. Clip full of ball heads, I'm shooting out Damon Wayne's. Driven ambition, I ain't never changing lanes. Wise as an old man, but I ain't slanging cane. This ain't a game, this shit way deeper than rap. You speaking the cap, but the shit y'all speaking is cap. I'm 5,000, but I still keep it a stack. I'm in the truth, not cause back then I was seeking the facts. Cry aloud for the niggas that's deep in the back. And the Lord with me, ain't no reason for keeping the strap. We peep the attacks, niggas say we ain't speaking the facts. Stealing breakdowns every time we teaching in class. Niggas snitching, y'all out here squeaking with rats. We be on the street corners teaching that Jesus is black.
We on 125th Street, Harlem, nigga, you see where we at?
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, nigga? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, so who is y'all, niggas? One West, we want it all, nigga. That's
ironic.
You know
the truth is the truth, that's all I know. Cry loud and spare not, you gon' get exposed. A few real niggas left, you not one of those. Real soldiers, we was born to stand 10 toes. If he ain't one West, that nigga not one of mine. He got a purple 12, me, I got a black 9. The truth is the wife of my youth, chopping my concubine. Had to die to get my rib, that bitch forever mine. You know the game, a bishop gotta be blameless. But GMS teaching niggas to be rapists. They screaming we snitch. When Joe Morgan was killed by your brother, y'all ain't say shit. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK. PSA, we don't sign NDAs. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK. PSA, we don't sign NDAs.
Hey, 100 deep, 100 shields on, that's 100 priests. 100 boots, that's 200 feet. Tongue like a sword when I fucking speak. Teach you how to fish instead of fucking leech. Stop selling drugs instead of trying to fuck with Meech. Knowledgeable, but I'm rude in my fucking speech. Life is about warfare, not no fucking peace. Hey, bitch, I cry loud when I fucking speak. Make them wait a year before they fuck with me. Turn a street nigga to a fucking priest. Cross a priest and I promise you forever sleep.
Hey, shalom, shalom. What's going on, Israel? What's going on, Ahabawan?
Shalom, shalom, Israel.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Khan, I don't want Khan, sir. How I'm coming through?
What's that?
How I'm coming through, can you hear me?
Yep, you two are. We good.
All right, let's get this cracking. Shalom, Israel. We are the ISUPK. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And what we do is on these Monday nights and in every other class that we teach in the ISUBK, we teach that blacks, so-called blacks, so-called Native Americans, so-called Hispanics are the real and the true chosen people of God. You are the Jews or the Jews of the Most High God. Sir?
Con, damn right. I'm just trying to share the YouTube page. Understand, if you're watching, make sure you like, share, subscribe. All right, it's very important to get this truth out. Again, like, share, subscribe. Put this on every social media platform. All right, because we got a hell of a class tonight.
Damn right. Let's see, sir. You want to see who we got online? Who we got online? Can you see that, sir? I can't. I'm a little far away.
Yep, I got you.
Nah, I don't know if you went over the last week's class, sir. That we had some individuals that was trying to be trolls and come to turn out is that they end up saying that, you know, if the word of God was true, right, or if they were showed things in the Bible to know that the word of God says to do this and do that, they would immediately change their ways. So hopefully we got an individual to stop eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. And you know, they started off being combative, but then by the end of the class, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna stop doing that because you just showed me in the Bible where it says not to do such things.
Damn right. If you could you grab Amos chapter 3, verse 7?
Another one.
You know what I mean? Because that's a heavy thing. You know what I mean? I remember seeing a brother. They was on Clubhouse, and he was talking about how if somebody showed him in the Bible God being racist, he would throw away the Bible. And it's kind of that's kind of the opposite of I mean what you were just saying, but it's an important topic in the sense of we have never in this earth understood the Bible without the children of Israel.
Damn right.
And in the ISUPK, the foundation of this school, the first thing you're going to learn that is so important and so valuable is who you are as a people, what your nationality is. Because without that, this world is lost. You know what I mean?
Yes,
without that, You're going to think it's okay to eat pork. You're going to think it's okay to smoke weed, okay to be a drug addict. You know what I mean? Okay to follow European culture. You know what I mean? And just utterly destroy this entire earth.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? Like the scriptures say, you know, that if the children of Israel would keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, we would be looked at as a wise and understanding people.
Yes, sir.
Because there's so much wisdom inside of this book. You know what I mean? So much wisdom. It teach you how to circumcise your children. You know what I mean? And the amount of things that prevents in a society. Yeast infection, STDs, HIV, you know what I mean? All these different things that you can get or are more prone to get because of being uncircumcised. You know what I mean? The doctor will tell you when a woman gives birth that she shouldn't have sex for a certain period of time.
Mm-hmm.
All these things come out of the Bible. It's such an important information and valuable tool on how to live this life. We need the children of Israel to rise up and take their culture back. If you could read that verse for me.
If I may, sir, before we get into it, you want to give a shout out to the people we got online that's checking the class out and the people that's commenting, sir?
Yeah, Con. We got a couple check-ins. We got Naam Shah Yahawada, Tawanda Williams, Janice Bell, Nadaba, Kwamada, Kalaya Kwar, Mariah, Yakalia, and Aisha Banath. All right, I believe those are all sisters. Yahweh Shema Atha Bashim Yahushai.
Shema Atha Bashim Yahushai.
All
right, sir. I got that scripture. Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
And that's who the men in the ISUPK are. We are his servants, the prophets. You understand? We are the people that serve God. It was a beautiful thing on Saturday seeing all these brothers from Detroit giving their entire Saturday away to feed the people of Detroit.
Damn right.
They're not getting paid to do it. They don't have a gun to their head. Nobody's being threatened to go out there and do this. They're not putting in community service hours to, you know what I mean, to get rid of, help whatever their probation officer has for them. These brothers are out here strictly because they love and they know how to love people. They know how to take care of people. And they're willing to serve and give their time and their life in order to get these things done. And that's something that Christ taught us. Christ taught his disciples how to serve, how to be servants. And as these brothers come in the ISUPK and learn true brotherhood, learn how to take care of brothers and sisters, as they start learning the fear of the Lord, all this wisdom starts being added unto them. Like it says in Proverbs, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You have to obey God. You have to serve the Most High in order to gain knowledge and wisdom. And these things were given to the children of Israel. Those brothers are asking in the class, you know what I mean, if you could show me these things in the Bible, we'll stop. You came to the right place. You are in the ISUP class. You are in the right place where we are going to show you the truth of the Bible. You know what I mean? And this class, you know, we're going to get into some of the history of marijuana. And you're going to see the destruction that it has on the people. Where these things come from, why we do the things we do. And it's such a biblical thing. If you could grab one more verse from me.
Yes, sir.
In the Apocrypha, the worshiping of idols in Wisdom of Solomon. Let me see if I can find the worshiping of idols. And that's in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 27. Because something that, you know, no religious leader is going to teach you this. This is how you know they're not servants of the Most High. they're not the prophets of the Most High, because Christianity will teach you to be a drug addict.
Damn right.
Islam will teach you to be a drug addict. Rastafarianism will teach you to be a drug addict. Being Jewish, following that Judaism religion, you're going to be a drug addict. All of these things teach you to worship other gods, when the Lord said that is the beginning of all evil. If you could read that.
That's Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 27. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 14, verse 27.
Come on. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 27. For the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
Those brothers that came in that class and asked you to show you those things, Ahabawan, they don't understand what an idol is. They don't understand, where a lot of these things come from. You can idolize your oppressor. You can idolize Europeans. And if you put American culture above the Most High, that is the beginning of all evil. You worship Shiva, you know what I mean? You'll see what the destruction that happened is happening today over in East India. The destruction it had on the Jamaicans, the tribe of Benjamin. Do you know, Ahabawan, that because of Rastafarianism, you had a group of Jamaicans who we know to be the tribe of Benjamin, who actually went over to Ethiopia and Ghana. It's a town or a city in Ethiopia called what's that called? Shawashama. I could be pronouncing it wrong. Shawashama, something like that. And Jamaicans actually went there, and they are being destroyed over there in Ethiopia. And they did it in the name of Rastafarianism. They did it in the name of following Haile Selassie. Like, you see those brothers who went to Dimona? That's the same thing that these Jamaicans did over in Ethiopia.
If I may, sir, and we're probably going to get into this in the class. Most likely we will. Yep. But understand is that during COVID, right, these East Indians, which, this is where this Rastafarian and this weed smoking and getting high while worshiping, this is where some of this stuff, came from. And during COVID, because my thing is, our people take on the clothing of all these other cultures, right? So while you taking on the culture of them having the Buddha or the Shiva, and then you take on the culture of them smoking weed, understand these are the same people that take, and I hope this sounds harsh to you, these are the same people that take cow shit baths and call it worship, right? These are those people. These are the same people that little red dot on their forehead, that is represent the minstrel of their goddess, and that dot on their forehead is supposed to be one of the they supposed to dip their finger in the blood of the minstrel and put it on their damn forehead. Why you don't take on that, right? So these are the things that these Rastafarians and these I don't know what they call the religion of worshiping Shiva, but these are the things that they represent that our people tend to take on so easily.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's a perfect thing you brought up. I'm gonna do you one better, Ahabawan. I'm gonna play this quick.
Please do.
Those East Indians are
nasty.
They are not filthy. You know what I mean? I learned this being going to college and actually doing I had a project I had to do, and I was grouped in with like 4 or 5 different East Indians. And Yeah, at Ahabawa, they put me in the. Because I went to school for business, and they put me in this group. It was a marketing group, and they had put me in this part of the group thing of the cultural foods of India.
Market they ass some deodorant.
Man, the things that I learned about how East Indians cook it, man, is foul.
Look, someone was trying to tell me. Oh, if I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone was trying to tell me that it's because of the curry that they use is the reason why they smell like that. No, it's because they don't wash their ass. That's all it is. They don't use soap and water. They don't use deodorant, right? Understand is that in the 1700s, the Moorish Americans, not Moorish Americans, the Moors brought that over to the European countries, right? You should wash your behind because, and then not only did they bring that over, they also brought over, they created sewer systems, right? In the 1700s, they brought that over to like the European areas and all that, because you know why? Because they was throwing, what did they call it? Pots. So they had pots of feces and urine, because I was told to clean it up, and they would throw it out the window and couldn't figure out why they had so many damn plagues. Because you got piss and shit on the street. That's why you keep getting plagues. You keep getting sick, right? I brought up the fact of in 1919, sir. You ever hear of the Spanish flu?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and you know, this is we're going to stay on these other nations. Just because we're talking about a different nation at the time don't mean that we're not going to get off these other folk, right? So in 1919, the Spanish flu had hit the world, right? And it killed hundreds or millions of people. It unalived hundreds of millions of people, the Spanish flu in 1919 from all over the globe, including America, right? And you know what solved or what was the cure for the Spanish flu?
What was that?
Washing your hands.
Right. Yeah. Good, man.
washing. So this plague ran, rampantly throughout the earth because certain people didn't want to wash their ass. Yeah. They didn't want to wash their hands, right? But I'm gonna bring up another thing about this, sir, and this is heavy, and I'm probably gonna bring something like this up about in every class. Is that guess what was happening to black folk in America in 1919? Now, understand, the Spanish flu kicked a hole in America from 1919 to 1921. Right. So in 1919 to 1920, it's a term called the Red Summer. And what it was terrorist attacks against black people, right? So black people were being unalived in major cities throughout America. And their bodies and their blood was left in the street. And it was coined the Red Summer because of so many of our people were unalived. Who you think did that? Right? 1919. Right? In 1921, right, while we're still being destroyed by the Spanish flu, as you know, I say we as America as a whole, not us in general, black folk, but the Americans were still being ravished by the Spanish flu, this plague. And in 1921 is when hundreds of people were unalived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, because black people were thriving. Right. So regardless of whatever you do, black man, Native American man, Hispanic man, regardless of whatever you do, black woman, Native American woman, Hispanic woman, these people are going to have perpetual hatred towards you, and they're going to unalive you, even when they're dying from sickness. When they're dying because they don't want to wash their damn hands.
John.
I just had to bring that out, sir.
No, that's heavy. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna play the proof right here. Like these other nations, they'll wash their hands in cow shit. One. They love this stuff. Check this out.
Manure in the kitchen, to be honest.
Cow is considered God.
Yeah, but it's poop on the kitchen table.
It has some antimicrobial properties.
What she says, what on the kitchen table?
You said this is cow shit
on the kitchen table.
Yeah, and he said cow shit is considered a god.
So hold on, I want that's what I want you to bring out.
Yep.
Cow is considered a god. So where did the term "holy shit" come from? Because that's what she got on the table.
That's exactly what she has on the table. That's exactly what she has on the table.
Holy shit!
And not even and you, like the depth of this. The Bible says it's so plain that the worshiping of idols, like they'll sit here and call Halloween a holy day. They'll call Christmas a holy day.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take shit and call it holy. This is what people do on this earth. This is the worshiping of idols. Like they're using this cow shit to purify the kitchen. they use cow shit or Habawan to cook with. You understand? Like this is why
now
the
understand
Bible says that we can't learn from from our enemies. We can't.
These are the things that we've taken up. Slakia, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are the things that we've taken on from idols, from idol worshiping, from following other nations. Put some cow shit on your table.
Yep.
Right?
Good,
imagine, but you gotta understand, black folk eat chitlins, so cooking with cow shit can't be that as smelly as cooking chitlins. Right?
Hey, what's funny? Can you see the comment on this Instagram reel?
No, it's too small for me to see it from here.
I wasn't even. I thought maybe you had looked at this because in the comment they put, "Holy shit, I get it
now." No, unfortunately, I can't see the screen. So, last week I was getting up, going to the computer to see the screen multiple times. So
let me finish this real quick.
Funny.
Good.
So this is why it is used to purify the things.
What the? I try to be very respectful of their customs, their culture, and everything like that. But I draw the line. I draw my boundaries at this right here. This is disgusting.
Mama, हर गेट पे गोमूत्र का छिड़काव कर दो.
He said, "Mom, shall I sprinkle cow urine on every door?"
हाँ जरा जिस कर दो हाँ कर दे.
She said, "Yeah, sprinkle a little bit." They sprinkling cow piss all throughout their house.
Cow piss.
You were saying if they just wash their goddamn hands.
They wash their hands. So again, so you said, because I'm just repeating what you said. You said they wash their hands.
Yeah, if they would just wash their goddamn hands, maybe everybody wouldn't have died of the Spanish flu.
And you know how the Spanish flu comes about? Think about this. If like think of the Spaniards were throwing they call these something, I cannot remember the name of the pots that they called them, right? But they were using these pots full with urine and feces and dumping it out the window. And there's no telling what else comes out of a person's body, especially if one of them is on their menstrual or anything else. So this is some horrible, nasty stuff that you're throwing out the window.
Yeah.
And they dumped it into the middle of the streets.
Yep.
And they didn't wash at all. Hands. These people believe that when you washed, evil spirits will seep in through your pores, right? They believe that when you wash, evil spirits will seep in through your pores, right? Now you understand when you wash and you go outside in the cold climate, your ass will get sick.
Yeah.
You'll get sick. But they thought that when you washed, right, evil spirits will seep in through your pores, causing you to get sick. So when the Spanish flu hit, they washed even less.
It's crazy as hell.
And that disease killed Slovakia, unalived hundreds of millions of people.
Yep.
Right? This same thing COVID did.
Yep.
Right? Remember, Donald Trump called it the Wong flu.
God. Yeah, it's crazy.
I probably could say that, America, because it was a quote from the president. Y'all love him so damn much. They call it the Wong flu. That's what Donald Trump called it, right?
Yeah.
The invisible virus. That's what he called it. The invisible virus, the Wong flu. Trump claims that it started in China.
Yeah.
Right? And think about it. In China, they have some unlawful eating of certain animals. They eat animals like bats and rats and stuff like that, right? And they don't wash too well either.
Yeah.
Right? You can pull up, if I may, sir, if you allow me to continue to speak on this.
Go ahead.
We can find videos where there are people from other nations that claim when they get in the shower, they don't wash their legs because the water runs down. Now, I'm going to ask you this, Israel. Whenever you wash your car, don't you have to wipe off every area you want the dirt to come off of? When you hand wash your car, if you don't wipe the area, right? This is a car. This is something that's outside all the time. I don't know nobody that parks their car in the house. They may park it in the garage. I've seen some rich people have underground garages, and those things were amazing. An underground garage, you put your car in. I don't got that type of money. So my car stays outside. So when it has to be washed, any area that I want to shine, I want to be clean, I have to wipe that area. So if that is logical for washing a car, what's logical for washing your body? Shouldn't, if you want your behind to be clean, shouldn't you wipe it with some soap and water?
God.
You should rub some soap and water on it. If you want your legs to be clean, shouldn't you rub some soap and water on it? Because if you don't wash your hood, if you don't rub the soap and water on your hood and you just spray water on that hood is still going to be dirty.
God.
Right?
Yeah, if I may.
Please.
And this is why the Bible said, it says in Deuteronomy that Moses put wise men of understanding over the congregation to lead, because if you don't have wisdom, you're going to live like a child. You're going to do very silly childlike things. You need grown men with wisdom to lead you. It says all throughout the Bible, like, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. It says in Proverbs, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? How long will you love being stupid? How long will you love being ignorant?
Is that 3:31?
Simple. Like, we have to grow up and gain some wisdom, because what Ahabawan is saying, that is wisdom. To do something as simple as to properly bathe yourself. Your parents have to teach you that when you're a child. Because if you're a child, you don't know any better. You don't know how to wash yourself. So an adult will teach you how to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give you wisdom. They'll guide you. They'll be a good leader in your life. You sit here and let these East Indians lead you. You let Europeans lead you. You make these people your gods, your idols, looking up to their culture.
Wait, if I may, sir.
Come on, go ahead.
If I may, sir, think about this. The Christian church has always said a phrase that stood out to me, right? They always said, cleanliness is next to God.
Yeah, I remember hearing that shit. I haven't heard that in a while. Slocky.
Okay, they not wash their ass. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And you telling me it's some Christians that don't, clean themselves properly? I guess that's where the baptism come in. You dip them in the water.
That's the most important thing to them to get a damn bath.
Get a bath.
If I could just learn to take a bath properly, maybe the whole world won't die of the Spanish flu. Salaki.
And if I may, I'm gonna bring out something else.
Okay.
And we're not gonna. The reason why we bringing out these things because understand is that these people that worship Sheba, they're drug addicts.
Yeah.
They're drug addicts. And you're listening to drug addicts. Would you listen to a crackhead on how to invest money? He's gonna tell you to invest it into his crack habit.
Yep. Right.
I'm not about to give a crackhead $1,000. Right. So why would me giving them $1,000 is valuable? So why would I take information about this drug addict not cleaning themselves properly? Right. These other nations are drug addicts. Understand is that crack cocaine was rampant in the inner city. But when black people stopped messing around with crack, right? When we think about it, it was dope houses on top of dope houses on every street in inner city areas, especially with us. Think about it. They pushed the dope in our neighborhood for us to get on it. Right? Would you listen to that crackhead about a burglar system and he climbing in your window? No, because he's gonna get the system that he can hack into or break into or whatever because you got a TV in your house that he can sell for some crack. Right? Why would you listen
to that?
Please.
And what's heavy about that too is that you didn't become a drug addict at the age of 30. You became a drug addict as a child. You were 15 years old listening to Bob Marley and you started smoking weed. You were listening to some musical influencer. I don't know the ones they have today, but apparently they're big on Pop and Molly, whatever else.
If you may, let me help you with that, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
He's a drug addict. What's the one that produced Lil Wayne? Birdman.
Yeah.
Birdman, another drug addict, right? These people, they just had a versus the other day, and one of them, the one that just got out of jail, he couldn't even stand up. Because he had used so much heroin in the past, and he probably was hot in, right? The versus battle, you hear the consensus of the individuals who watched it, and they say that Master P and No Limit put on a show.
Yeah,
they put on a show, and then they started talking about how was it Cash Money? Yeah, that's Juvenile and Lil Wayne. They said the only person in Cash Money that put on something that you could watch was Juvenile.
Right.
They said he carried the whole team, the entire team. These are just what the critics are saying on social media. But if you look at it, these rappers were the ones that push drug use. Now, I'm not saying that Master P and Juvenile didn't make songs about using drugs, but the other folk that was on stage, if you listen to their songs, this Wayne made a song called Money, Weed, and Vagina. Right? He got songs about popping pills and using lean and all that kind of stuff. So do some of these other people, right? Some of these mumble rappers, they're talking about using drugs and things like that, right? So the drug culture has been pushed through the music.
Yep.
It's being pushed through the music. And then some of your favorite television shows, not only are we going to push it through the music, we're going to push it through the television, right? Through your other visual media, because you got the listening media and your visual media. We're gonna push it through your other media, through some of your favorite television shows. Is about selling dope and selling drugs. You know, what's the guy, the BMF guys selling drugs? You know, that's you got 50 Cent and who was that other guy? Ricky Ross or something like that, arguing over who could produce it. Produce a show about selling drugs in your community.
Yep.
You got something you want to put up, sir?
Yeah, if I could, just on to what you're saying. This is an article called "The Complicated History of Cannabis in the U.S."
If you want to send it to me, I'll read it off for you.
No, lie. I'll just read this one small part, just on to what you're saying. It says, the rise of reefer madness. It says, the popular image of the 1950s may be all leave it to Beaver, but underneath the pearls and penny loafers, there was a countercultural movement bubbling to the surface. The beat generation emerged early in the decade, when a group of young people began to unite in their rejection of conventional society in favor of artistic and bohemian ideals. The beatniks also enjoyed experimenting with drugs, particularly marijuana. And, you know, this isn't, it'd probably be another good class we could get into on the history of the beatniks, you know, and some of the things on how that emerged, because, you know, just like they say, what's it called, gang culture today, like the Crips didn't start off being, you know, this quote-unquote peaceful organization. You know what I mean? And a lot of the things that, you know, we founded or started with our different music and things like this, they weren't started for the wrong reasons. But they definitely have, and this is something you'll see Europeans have always done, is they will take a idol. You know what I mean? Like, again, that verse you brought out so heavy. They are going to push Snoop Dogg and Lil Wayne and Bob Marley down the throats of every Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous man.
Can I ask you something, sir?
Come on, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of the rapper, what's his name, Lupe Fiasco?
Come on, yep.
All right, you heard of him, right?
Yep.
Why isn't his music mainstream?
Right.
Okay, what about Chance the Rapper?
Yep.
Because if I'm correct, Chance the Rapper started off as a gospel rapper, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
I have to look it up. I have to look it up again. But I thought he started off as, and I'm not saying that Christianity is the way to go. Not at all. Right? Christianity is one of the most powerful drugs you can use.
Yep.
Because those people so blowed off of Christianity that they don't even believe in the book that they're reading. People go to church every Sunday and tell you they only believe in parts of the Bible. Niggas, you stupid?
Yeah.
Is you stupid? Right? And these are not just, you know, individuals. I guess I would be able to accept it if these individuals were not considered the intellects. These are people who are nurses and doctors and CEOs and CFOs. And these people will tell you that they only believe in parts of the Bible.
Yeah.
Right? You know why? Because think about what the Christian church teaches. The Christian church tell you you got to follow the Bible until it affect their pocket. So they tell you one of the big things is that the law is done away with.
Yep.
Right. So if that Christian pastor lied to you about the law being done away with, about the laws of God being done away with, right? So Christ said that, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, not one jot or one tittle, right, until heaven and earth has passed away, will, you know, the law be done away with, basically.
Yep.
Right? I could pull that scripture. It's in Matthew 5 and I think it's 24, 25, right around there. So matter of fact, what I would like to do is pull that scripture, because this Christian church will teach you that the law is done away with, right? The law is done away with. They'll teach you that the law is done away with. And then after teaching you that the law is done away with, tell you got to pay tithes because that's the law.
Yeah.
How does that make sense? I thought the law was done away with. 5 and 17. He says, Christ says, this is Matthew 5 and 17. Christ says, because it's written in red. So he says, think not that I come to destroy the law. Who says that? That's black folk. Think not. We used to say that all the time. Think not about that such.
Right.
That was our saying. Christ was saying this back over 2,000 years ago. Right? Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. So now I didn't come to destroy the law or anything that these prophets in this Bible has taught you. Right? I'm not come to destroy that. He said, I'm not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Verse 18, it says, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle, right, shall in no wise pass from the law.
Yeah.
Not one, you know what a jot and a tittle is? That's when you cross your T's and you dot your I's, right? So not one jot or one tittle will pass until heaven and earth has passed. Has heaven and earth passed? Right? Has heaven and earth passed? The answer is no. So you know what that means? It means only one thing, that nothing is passed from the law. The law is not done away with. So if your Christian pastor telling you that the law is done away with, guess what? He's lying to you, right? He's lying to you because he wants you to be a drug addict. He wants you to be a whoremonger. Because as long as you're a drug addict and you're a whoremonger, as long as you're teaching your daughters to slut themselves out and your sons to be gangbangers, guess what? You'll keep bringing them money, right? And what you keep bringing them money, you're going to keep not only bringing them money, but you're going to keep these other nations above you, right? And with these other nations being above you, what they want you to do is become a drug addict. Because when you're hooked on drugs, you cannot make rational, life-changing decisions that will positively affect you because you have an addiction.
Yeah.
Think about this, if I may, sir.
Go ahead.
You ever watched My 600-Pound Life?
No lie.
Well, have you heard about the show? I ain't never watched it, but I heard about it.
Never heard of that.
So it's a show called My 600-Pound Life. Every person on this 600-pound life has one thing in common: a food addiction.
Right.
Right. You don't get to be 600 pounds without having a food addiction. Right. So these people not even, some of these people are not even hooked on just a drug. They're hooked on food. And you see what just being hooked on food does to you. You become 600 pounds, right? You've seen people we've seen in the neighborhood when I was coming up. You knew who the crackheads were, right? You knew who the crackheads were because they were skinny as hell, right? You knew who the weed heads were because their lips was black. You knew who the meth addicts were because what? You knew who the meth addicts were because they ain't had no damn teeth.
Right.
Right. You have to really have an addiction and smoke your teeth out. Meth addicts smoke. Do we got any more comments, sir? If not, I can run a check if you want me to.
Yeah, we just had a couple more. Officer Wadia checking in. Shalom Adawan Yabashim Shabbat. We got Carolyn Radsville and Elder Charles checking in.
Elder Charles, you've been checking in a long time. You better get them classes down to Florida, sir. Yeah. So understand this. Hold on. Let's see where I'm going next.
Yeah, sorry, if I could, while you're getting that, go ahead.
No, I was just checking. I had text messages and coming in. I thought it was questions for the class.
Oh, come. Yeah, like what you're saying is so heavy in that Black people, Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous people, we lack leadership.
Damn right.
Like if we would follow what Christ said, we would be good. You'll quickly learn that Christians don't follow anything in the Bible. You'll quickly learn that these different leaders that lead us go against everything that the Most High told us to do.
Mm-hmm.
That leadership is what has us destroyed as a people. We don't have wise men of understanding leading us. We do this dumb shit like smoke weed following East Indians, and we absolutely destroy ourselves as a people. I got a if you have more, I want to keep going, but I do got another article.
I was gonna bring up that article about the cannabis in Jamaica, but if you want to go somewhere else,
Yeah, I wanted to get the one in India first.
the one in India.
Yeah. You got that? I'll pull it up on the screen.
I got it. Yep, I got it, sir.
Yeah, let's get into that.
You ready, sir?
Yep, go ahead.
Now look at this picture. If you can pull that picture up.
Okay.
Look at this picture. Now, this is what I want you to see. Right? These are the dreadlocks wearing weed smoking Indians. So understand is that dreadlocks didn't start with Jamaicans. Dreadlocks are an East Indian culture, and these folk was nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, like you see them, they're sitting here and quote unquote purifying their house with cow shit and cow piss.
You
like,
know
you
why?
Understand how filthy of a people these are?
You know why they purify in their house with cow shit and cow piss? Because they drug addicts.
Yeah.
Because they drug addicts. The weed be talking to me, man. It's telling me to rub cow piss to keep the spirits away and put the cow shit on the table. Yeah. Don't that sound like a damn weed head?
That is exactly what they are doing. That's exactly what they're doing, boy.
Oh, you have to be high as hell.
You're
to
high
purify
as hell.
your house with cow piss.
Yeah. There's some East Indian out there that smoked himself to retardation, and he believed that this cow that was in front of him was sent by God himself, reincarnated as God, walking around on his farm. And next you know, has every East Indian following this garbage.
So can I ask you a question, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
So in order for you to be reincarnated, you have to die, right? In order to be reincarnated, you have to die. So these people so high, they believe that the most high and most powerful God died and came back as a goddamn steak, right? Came back as a steak so I could put some garlic, some pepper, some salt, and a little touch of cayenne, some butter, slap his ass on the grill.
Yeah.
Medium.
Yeah.
That's because you have.
And Salaki, as you're saying that, it also it grieves me. It grieves my heart because I see how much it destroys our people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like to see a bunch of Jamaicans out in the country acting like these East Indians, to see our people in the suburbs or in the inner cities and different things like this, and how it destroys our people.
Yes, sir.
It's such a sad thing to see. And we're only in that condition because we're following this garbage. They're over there in India doing this, and they love this shit, Abuan. Like they are full out drug addicts. You know what I mean? There's a video, I don't know, I might have that up. We'll see if we get there for time. Of this, you have Europeans going over to Europeans from France, from Paris, going over to this Shawashama city in Ethiopia to go live with the Jamaicans. And they get there and they're like, I found my community of drug addicts.
Yes.
You don't understand. Like these people are sitting there in France smoking weed every day, high out their mind, living on the streets. You see those homeless people walking down the streets that are just, they want to be there. They love being there because they're high out of their fucking mind. They go over to Jamaica and they do this shit with the Rastafari. Yeah, go ahead.
And not the last camp we had in Toronto, but the camp before that. Remember, who are we seeing at those? The camp spot we had was right around the corner from one of those Canadian, what they call them, Canadian drug houses, where they give you the clean drug and the clean needles.
Right. Yep.
What do they call those, sir?
The safe injection sites.
The safe injection sites, right? So it's, tens and 20 of East Indians lined up outside this safe injection place. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, why is they all lined up over here? Why is they over here? What they doing out here? They look like dope fiends. And that's when I talked to you about it. You said that's one of them safe injection places.
Yeah.
Right? So these people, no matter what country they in, they're drug addicts, right? Yeah. And it's so heavy. Well, so the heavy part about this, sir, is that it was a video on the internet that during COVID, they were throwing their gods into the water.
Yeah.
They were throwing their gods into the water because they said their gods were not helping them. No shit. Their gods were not helping them with this COVID. So, I fish a lot, right?
Yeah.
So as I'm fishing, it's a guy that's next to me, maybe about 10 feet over. He's also fishing. He's a pastor. Him and I, we've talked about a few different things before, right? And this is the last time I seen this dude fishing. He pulls out, he gets his line hooked on something. He pulls it out, right? So he gets the net and he's pulling it out. And it's one of their gods that they threw in the damn water.
Yeah.
Right? So I say, oh man, throw that shit in the trash. Right? So they throw it in the trash. He say, no, I'm gonna keep it because it might mean something. No, it just means you stupid if you keep it, Pastor. Right?
Yeah.
But let me get into this article. So you want me to start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Right. This is India's cannabis history, right? And for those that don't understand what cannabis is, that's that Mary Jane or weed or whatever you want to call it. Right? The sticky icky. It says cannabis has long and deep roots in India's history, and is buried in the tales and religion. Cannabis was first mentioned in the Vedas, the sacred Hindu literature compiled between 2000 and 1400 BC. So that's, about 4,000 years ago, they was getting high, sir.
Yep.
Right. So they good at this now.
Yeah.
Think about something your people been doing for 4,000 years.
Yep.
Right. It says cannabis was one of the 5 sacred plants. Oh my God. I didn't know this. According to the Vedas, and its leaves house a guardian angel. I gotta stop right there, sir.
Yeah,
so the leaves.
They worship this shit.
They worship, they worship the cow. Now they worshiping the leaves. But think about this. They don't smoke the cow. So they're not even consistent with their gods. Right? The cow they won't eat. They'll take his feces and his urine and smear it all over the damn house. Mm-hmm. But the weed, the sacred weed, the weed is sacred, man. They'll roll that shit up and smoke it. So they're not even consistent with their own gods.
This culture is this is a whole entire nation of people that have their culture based off of being drug addicts.
Damn Patels, man.
They get high all day long, and they have created a culture.
Yes, for 4,000 years.
Yeah.
Right. So
They
they
found this plant, boy. They found this plant. They got high, and they said, "Holy shit!"
Holy shit! And then it's real.
I have found the tree of life, and they even Rastafarians call this the tree of life. They'll say the tree of life in the book of Genesis. They have found the tree of life, boy.
So the tree of life.
This is it right here.
Wait. Hold on, wait. You know, we also know in the book of Genesis that man wasn't able to eat from the tree of life after he had eaten from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Right?
Yep.
So you trying to tell me God said, oh, this guy and this woman has eaten from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If they smoke that tree right there, they'll become as us. Don't let them get the weed.
They found the leaf,
oh man, weed heads.
God, keep reading.
Okay. Cannabis was one of 5 sacred plants, according to the Vedas.
Yep.
Am I enunciated that correctly? The Vedas?
I don't know. It don't matter.
It's spelled Vedas.
God.
Right? It's almost, remind me of Vegas, which is Sin City. Right? And its leaves house a guardian angel.
Yeah.
In the Vedas, cannabis is shown as a source of happiness, a joy giver, and a liberator. It was given to people as a gift to help them find happiness and get over their fears and anxieties.
Yeah.
Right? So
this
think
is their
about
guardian angel right here.
Goddamn guardian angel says, smoke some weed. Smoke some weed. Smoke some weed. Right? This is what the guardian angel is telling you. Now, this is my part, sir. This is what I wanted to get into.
Yep.
Shiva is commonly associated with cannabis, or we'll call it bang.
Bang, yep.
Bang. As it is known in India, after a fight with his family, Shiva is said to have gone off into the fields. He dozed off under a leafy plant, weary of the family feud and the blazing heat.
Now, if I may, does this not sound to you, Ahaboa, like maybe there was a child, some East Indian child, who was watching his parents fight as a child, and he ran off in the field because he was tired of watching his parents beat the shit out of each other, and he found this leaf. Found this leaf that changed his life as a child, boy.
Look, if I may, sir,
God.
It does sound like that, but for one, I just found out that Shiva was a he.
Good, man.
Wow.
Damn.
I learned something new. I always thought it was a woman.
Right.
Right. But that drug culture and the LGBTQ multiple other letters, right? It go together.
Yeah.
It go together, right? If you look at these individuals that's committing these mass unalivings in America, they're linked to the LGBTQ culture, right? And if you look deeper into it, guess what? They got drug habits too.
Yeah.
Right? If you watch this. I know you watched that Jeffrey Dahmer series.
I think I did.
I might have them on one, y'all. Look here, ladies and gentlemen. I can never get these guys to see a movie, so I'm kind of excited, right? Because he never understands my movie references. I told him I'm gonna bring up one per class, right? But in with the Jeffrey Dahmer, when he was going to these different places, he was drugging these guys. He had drugged one young man to the point where he didn't know where the hell he was at or what he was doing. And it was women trying to save him, but since he was in a black community, you got two Edomite officers, and since Jeffrey was an Edomite, they immediately agreed with Jeffrey instead of checking into this boy's background, and he may have been still alive today if the police would have just did their due diligence. Right? He ended up making this boy into a sandwich. But he was high as hell. Drugs. Hey, Israel, don't become drug addicts. Right? It says he dozed off under a leafy plant, weary of the family feud and the blazing heat. When he woke, he tasted the plant's leaves out of curiosity. So understand this is that he tasted a plant that he had no knowledge about. How many times, how many people know not to go in a damn forest and eat something? Right? Not to go in the forest and eat something. When you go in the forest and eat something, this plant can make you sick. It can unalive you. It can do all type of stuff. You can have an allergic reaction to it. And where's your EpiPen?
Yeah.
Right? So he sounds simple-minded, like you were saying, sir. Right? After being instantly revived by the plant, Sheba became known as the Lord of the Bang.
Yeah.
Of the ganja, the Lord of the ganja.
That's their God.
But we always have to tie this to the other nations, right? And we should. What you think, sir?
I think we'll get there. I got a lot of stuff to bring out. So
okay. Well, I shall continue, if I may. It says in Europe.
There you go.
Who are the Europeans? In Europe, soldiers in the Middle Ages frequently drank Bang before heading into battle. According to mythology, an elephant carrying a sword in his book. Goddamn. Now you got kids using weed. It says, according to mythology, an elephant carrying a sword in his boots assaulted the men of Silk leader Gobind Singh. Right? The scared troops were poisoned to mutiny when Singh offered one brave person a Bang opioid concoction. So now they got the weed and the Percocet. Yep. This opioid, the weed and the heroin. Now understand, my drug addicts out there that may be watching this, it was a mixture here with weed and cocaine back in the days, and we called it 51s. I don't understand why they call it 51s, but it was a mixture of weed and cocaine, and they called it 51s. I can't tell you what the mixture of weed and heroin is, right? Think about this. Weed is a downer, and so is heroin, right? So theoretically, when you mix downers together, you mix any drug or any proportion together that it could kill you. But this is one downer on top of another downer. So these soldiers that believed elephant carrying a sword in his boot gave another soldier a concoction of weed and heroin. Is that not what we just read?
Yep.
God damn, he was blown.
Yeah.
It was blown.
And you know, and think about, you know, if you're a brother, you know, any man or a woman now, any man or woman in the military, shoot, you go there to get high.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be in the military, and you know they send you over the Middle East. You're gonna be sitting in a shelter, hearing bombs go off, while you're sitting inside that shelter. And the only way you're gonna cope with that is you are going to drink that goddamn potion.
I got another movie reference.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, sir, I got another movie reference. You ever see Dead Presidents?
Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents was with Chris Tucker and Lorenz Tate. Are you familiar with those names?
Yeah, I may have seen it, Hot Boy. I just don't know.
No, it's good. It's funnier when you say that.
Yeah, when you say Chris Tucker, I probably watched it.
Yeah. So you know they went over to war, and the Vietnam War, and what you got to understand is that after doing the statistical breakdown of the Vietnam War, is said that the soldiers, the American soldiers, the reason why that war couldn't be won because they was getting high.
Yeah.
And the Vietnamese soldiers knew that. So, you know, they were using the women to sell them their bodies and, you know, get them addicted to the opioid over there, the heroin over there.
Yeah.
Right. So in this movie, Chris Tucker came back addicted to heroin. Right. And it was no big deal. It was no big deal. Came back addicted to heroin, right? Then Chris Tucker ended up robbing a bank, and robbing not the bank. What's the trucks that send the money?
The Brinks.
The Brinks trucks. Yeah, that's a brand name for one of the companies. But those armed guards, right? So they robbed an armored truck. After they robbed the armored truck, Chris Tucker ended up overdosing. Right. So this is off of the opioid. It says the potion gave him the courage and skill to slip behind the elephant and kill it. The gallant deed helped Singh's soldier defeat the enemy. Yeah. So they gave him a concoction of weed and heroin that allowed him to slip behind the elephant with a sword, the elephant that had the sword in his boot. And he was able to kill this elephant that had a sword in his boot because the concoction of weed and heroin gave him courage and strength. And he was looked at as a valiant soldier.
God. And not
That's
just
not
that.
how I'm saying it.
Yeah, and not just that other one, but that is the beginning or the foundation of again East Indians evolving further into being drug addicts. They always say weed was a gateway drug. You understand? They started on weed and they went to something else, boy.
If I may, sir.
Yeah.
It looked like weed is the gateway drug to killing elephants with swords in their boots that was beating your army up.
God.
Right? Now, the weed Kool-Aid is what they talk about next. It says, cannabis has been drunk as a drink in India since recorded history began. Since history been recorded.
Yep.
The East Indians have been drinking in India, right? These folk of India have been drinking weed or marijuana or the Bengali or whatever you want to call it. Cannabis is boiled with almonds, pistachios, poppy seeds. Maybe I shouldn't give y'all this recipe. I'm gonna skip over the recipe, sir.
Good.
It says the bang is something eaten in forms of tiny balls. Pause. Mixing marijuana with milk is an excellent way to get THC out of it because the milk has fat. Now, understand this, the reason why that they can detect marijuana in your system for 30, almost 45 days is because marijuana is a drug. The THC attaches to your fat cells, right? That could be the reason why you get the munchies, because your body is believing that, hey, I'm burning up fat cells. Fat cells are sugars.
Yeah.
Right? So that's probably why you get the munchies after you smoke some weed or drink some weed or eat some weed, because the THC attaches to your fat cells. Now, it says other cannabis preparations found in India includes ganja and chakras. Where have we heard those terms at, sir? You smoking the ganja, brother?
Yep.
Right? Our Jamaican brothers. So our Jamaican brothers and sisters did not come up with this term ganja, right? These Rastafarians, right, which were native to India, are the people who started this stuff. Ganja is made from the female plant flowers and higher leaves. It is more potent than the bang, right? So the ganja is more potent than the bang. Chakras produced from flowering plants is the most effective preparation. Chakras is high in resonant. You don't need to know what's will get folk higher and higher and higher. So you want me to jump to the next paragraph?
You could jump down to
the British Commission.
Indians enjoy getting high on marijuana.
Indians and
jump down to that.
Con. Indians. Now these are not talking about the so-called Native American Indians, right? Understand is that Christopher Columbus was an idiot, right? The dumb son of a this idiot, right? Set sail, and he set sail. His plan was to go to India once he left Spain, because he was trying to prove that the Earth was round. He just didn't know it was another goddamn country in between, a continent, not a country, an entire continent. So that's how the Native Americans got the term, start being called Indians, because Christopher Columbus thought he was in India. So Indians enjoy getting high on marijuana. According to the survey conducted by the German data firm ABCD. Wow, that's intelligent. Sound like they was high when they wrote this. The country's two largest cities, Nadali and Mumbai, used 38.2 tons and 32.4 tons of marijuana, respectfully, ranking among the highest in the world. Right?
Now,
that's a lot of goddamn weed, sir.
They are out there getting high. If you don't understand what we just read,
they get high than a mother.
They are waking up and smoking weed every second of the day. You watch these movies and shit, they have you believe that the black man is the biggest drug addict in the world.
Yes, sir.
That black people are just out here smoking weed, Hispanic people, indigenous people out here just smoking weed all day long, all day, every day. And that is not true. These East Indians absolutely love getting high, to the point of worshiping this goddamn plant. This is absolutely East Indian culture. And they have gone on and pushed this garbage throughout the earth. All throughout the earth. Like they and or keep reading that, because that's just 2 cities in East India.
It says while Delhi scored third in the list of 120 cities for marijuana smoking, after only New York and Karachi, what's that? Mumbai, Mumbai ranked 6.
So you have 4 cities in East India ranking the top 6, or sorry, you have 4 out of 6 of the top 6 places or cities in the world of marijuana use. 4 of them being from East India, and the third, they say the third highest place for the consumption of marijuana is New York City. Do you understand how many people live in New York City? That is a big fucking city. And it is not touching in comparison to how much weed East Indians are smoking. Like they rank their cities rank 4 out of the top 6 places on earth for marijuana consumption. They love this shit.
If I may, sir,
yeah,
it says just marijuana smoking.
Yeah, that's
right. We know they drink it. They didn't bring up the drinks because they would have put them probably number 1, 2, and 3, right? But this says, this says just marijuana smoking. Now, what we have to understand is that smoking weed, right? The use of weed in the Americas didn't become legalized in certain cities and states until the last, we say the last 5 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Right? Because understand, brothers was doing big clock time for having a bag of weed.
Yeah.
Remember, the police didn't have to put cocaine on you before. It was just weed.
That's right.
Now they got to plant cocaine on you. Right? If I may, ABC's figures are based on the UN's, that's United Nations, Office of Drug and Crimes yearly prevalence of cannabis, the percentage of the population that used the substance in the previous year, right? So this is the percentage of the population that they used in the previous year. Understand that I don't know what are the laws for weed in India, right? But the laws for the marijuana have been lighten up here in the United States.
Oh, right? It's lawful up there, huh, boy?
I said it was lighting up.
They worship that shit.
Yeah, that shit there and that shit right there, nigga. That shit over in India. That's probably why they let go. They was like, no, we can't get that high as them East Indians. And the reason why this is great that this is brought up, because in every single one of your manufacturing facilities, you got some East Indian weed head that is making decisions on a managerial level.
Yeah.
Right? And these guys are high as hell. Yep. Because if they don't, according to this, what we just read, if they don't drink it, if they don't smoke it, they drink it.
They drinking it.
So you won't be able to smell the weed coming out their pores, right? They got those pens that they smoke that you could barely smell it now, right? So all these are the things that are here over in America. But with these things being here over in America, right, think about this, over in America, weed has become, used highly just say over the last 100 years, right? Let's even say the last 200 years. Matter of fact, we'll give it from the beginning of slavery and say the last 400 years. These people is still 3,600 years ahead of you on smoking weed.
Yeah, you always wonder that, like, you know how like certain genes and shit pass on. Like,
say that again.
How certain things get passed on through your genes or genetics. You know what I mean? Like how some people they're such alcoholics. They don't need food. They just drink alcohol.
That's all they need.
You understand the East Indians? They've been doing this shit for 4,000 years.
It's if I may, sir, you know, we in 2000 and what is this? 2025.
Yep.
Yeah, over 4,000 years. They've been getting high as hell.
Yeah.
Because they said it started when the elephant had. I can't even get this shit out. Said a nigga got into a fight with an elephant. Well, not a nigga, but one of their soldiers got into. Imagine I'm trying to explain this shit to you on the street.
God.
So what happened? Where did Sheba come about, or where did a valiant soldier in India come about? Well, motherfucker got into it with an elephant that had a knife. He had a sword. He had a big sword. So the elephant had a sword in his boot. We got swords here. We got swords around the school. Right, so you got to understand this elephant got on a big ass boot, right? Because it didn't say an elephant had a knife in his boot. It said the elephant had a sword in his boot.
Yeah.
And this elephant with this sword in his boot was kicking a soldier's ass.
God.
Right, he was kicking their ass. He beat him up, right, killing him. So what they did was another dude that was one of their soldiers ended up getting a concoction of weed and heroin, right? It seemed a little 51-ish to me, of weed and heroin. He got this weed and this heroin, and with him getting this weed and this heroin, it gave him some strength and it gave him some courage, and he was able to sneak up behind the elephant with the sword in his boot and kill him. If somebody tell you that story on the streets, are you gonna think they're a damn crackhead?
Yeah, that's exactly what they are.
If somebody tell you that, if somebody came and tell you that story on the street, right? You say he did what? The elephant had a sword in his boot.
God.
A sword, right? Not no pistol, not no gun, not no knife.
Yeah.
A goddamn sword. Yeah. Yeah. And as soon as you tell me this elephant got this sword in his boot, I'm not believing nothing else you say.
God.
I digress, right?
if we could read through some of these harmful effects, and I got a video I'm gonna pull up after this.
All right. So, and this is black folk, Native Americans, right? My Hispanic people. I need you to listen to this part right here, because this is something that we were told, something that we believed, right? Unless you went through the DARE program. Remember the DARE program, sir? The DARE, I got to look it up what DARE mean, but it was like a program that was against drugs, and it was a Kruger or some shit like that, right? They had on the DARE shirt.
Yeah, right.
And they would bring them to the school, and they would tell you don't use drugs.
Right.
And I believe, they'll tell you say no to drugs. But I really believe you have to be on drugs to say no to drugs. Right? But that's just something I believe. You notice I said I believe that. I didn't say the UPK. I believe I don't want nobody to get in trouble. I don't want Cap calling me like, nigga, you said you gotta be on drugs. I'd be like, yes, sir, I said it. But I said it's something I believe, not the UPK. Right? It says, so look at this. It says, even though, well, the topic is marijuana harmful? And it says, even though people want to legalize marijuana, and many people who smoke it think that there are no harmful effects, Scientific research show that using marijuana can cause many health problems. The first one, it says brain. Studies have shown that using marijuana makes you more likely to have the following psychotic symptoms: delusion, disorganized speech and thinking, hallucinations, depressed and subtle tendencies. Smoking weed will make you think a goddamn elephant got a sword in his boot and you have to kill it.
And now tell me that you don't have an entire nation of drug addicts getting high. And this is a people you want to follow?
You know you got an entire nation of people getting high because Shiva started to eat the weed, right? And then him and his mans mixed it with heroin.
Yeah. And
killed an elephant with a sword in his boot.
And you know, I just thought about this too. You ever see what their gods look like? Like Shiva got like 20 fucking arms coming out of it.
Right?
Tell me that nigga wasn't high.
I'm gonna tell you like this, sir. You ever see The Last Dragon?
Right.
Remember Bruce Lee, bro? He moved his arms real fast.
Yeah,
He moved his arms real fast. It looked like he had multiple arms.
Yeah.
I have to think that they was high, and they that's what they thought they seen.
Yeah.
He was moving so fast, but I do have to understand. I'm thinking logically, and trying to rationalize the mind of a drug addict.
Yeah.
Right? Right? Hold on, wait. That was just the mental part. What about the heart, sir?
Oh,
it says,
you keep going. Go ahead.
Research shows that your chance of having a heart attack increased by as much as 5 times in the first hour after smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
The chemicals in marijuana are also linked to higher risks of heart failure and atrial fibrillation, which is a problem with how the heart beats. Teenagers who use marijuana are often even more likely to have a stroke than those who don't use the drug. Think about how many people you know have been smoking weed since they was, 12, 13, 11 years old.
Yeah.
Right? Well, bones. Bone research. Researchers found that people who use marijuana a lot have 5% weaker bones than people who never use marijuana. This loss of bone density makes it more likely that you will have health problems with your bones, like osteoporosis. Oh, I enunciated that right. Which can make you more likely to break a bone. Lungs. Marijuana is usually smoked with tobacco. If you don't believe it, that's what the backwoods. That's the leaves that you smoke the marijuana out of. The leaves is what's the tobacco is, right? Think about this. It says marijuana is usually smoked with tobacco. So all the harmful effects of both lead to lung disease, short-term bronchitis, continual cough all the time. Think about this. These weed heads always coughing.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I got to put something together for you, sir. We talked about the Spanish flu. So if somebody is always coughing, right, and they got this Spanish flu because they smoking this weed, how fast will that Spanish flu spread around the world?
Yeah, it's spreading everywhere.
Right? Niggas was still smoking weed during COVID with other niggas. Right? Think about this. You got a disease that affects the lungs. And after you lick that blunt down and you fire it up and you shove it down your throat, you give it to somebody that's sitting next to you so they can smoke on this leaf that you done licked all on. Yep. Right? Think about that. They just puff, puff, pass. That's what Smokey said, didn't it? Puff, puff, pass. And then this person inhaled it. So how do you think this COVID ran through the neighborhood like it did?
Right.
It probably came from passing blunts. Right? They coughing all the time. It says more mucus come up and phlegm. Not enough air to breathe and wheezing. Think about the chronic weed smokers that you have in your family, Israel. Think about those individuals, the chronic weed smokers. I'm talking about that person that smoke all day, every day, most of the time, every time. Those people are always coughing and spitting, right? Always coughing, always spitting, like big phlegm. You're like, damn, man, why you spit so much? Because he smoked weed.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I have one. The number one the number one reason, or the number one highest reason for the mortality rate in America is heart failure.
I got to look it up. I think you're right. I had to look it up. The number one, heart failure, and then think about it. If heart failure number one, and marijuana increases your chance of heart failure, then why the hell would you smoke weed?
Yeah.
Right. It says, if I make it to you, sir.
Here it is right here. It says the top causes of mortality in America include heart disease, the leading cause of death, accounting for a significant number of deaths each year. And the number two is cancer, a major contributor to mortality, with various types of cancer being prevailing.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Both of these things come from smoking weed. Go ahead.
Do you get cancer from smoking?
Yep.
So right on any of the packages that you smoke, out of, it says the Surgeon General, right, tells you not. It's a chance. It says it's a chance that you could develop cancer from using this product.
Yep.
Right. So if the Surgeon General tells you that there's a possibility that using this product you could get cancer, why would you continue to use that product unless you're suicidal? That's the only way I could think that if the individuals would know this information and continue to smoke weed, they have to be suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care about your life no more. Right? So, it's sad, but it says regular marijuana use is also linked to lung problems like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, and repeated lung infections. The people that smoke weed all the time always get what's going on, that upper respiratory infection. Not to say that you can't get it because and not smoke weed, but it increases your chances drastically, right, of you getting this disease, COPD, or upper respiratory infections and things like that from smoking. I got an aunt, sir, that I haven't talked to her in maybe a couple of months, but she smoked like a chimney. Right. I'm talking about, always had something in her hand lit up. And then we'll get mad at you because she asks you for a ride and you tell her she can't smoke in your car.
Come.
Well, I'm not picking your ass up, auntie.
Yeah.
Love you, deuces, quit smoking, right? But the last time I spoke with her, she was in the hospital dealing with these lung problems.
Yep.
Right? My mother told me you should go up to the hospital and see your auntie because you know she's the doctor said that she's only like on 50% or 25% oxygen. That's how much oxygen she was pulling in.
Yeah.
And I tell my mom, I say, Mom, I gotta go teach a class. And with me going to teach my class, I'm not gonna be able to make it down to the hospital.
Right.
And she said, well, you could go, you know, Tuesday. I got class Tuesday. So I'm not going to be able to make it to the hospital Tuesday either. Right? Hopefully she out the hospital by Wednesday. Because if not, I'm going to be working with LeBron and, you know, I might not be able to make it that day either. Not to say I don't love my auntie, but at the same time is we have to stop destroying ourselves and expecting people to come visit us.
Well, if I could add, like,
please,
you're sitting there as somebody's family member, somebody's loved one, and you're dying because you chose to be selfish and harm yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going to go watch, you know, your loved one sit and die in a hospital, I'd rather go out on the street and tell everybody I care about not to be a drug addict.
Damn right.
I'd rather go out to the street and teach them how to get off of drugs. Teach a class on how to get off of drugs. That is me showing you love. That's me showing you honor. Like the scriptures say to honor your father and your mother. Be an honorable man and woman by keeping the laws of God, by being a person of integrity, not by supporting their disgusting habits or supporting the habits that they do or use to unalive themselves. Like the scriptures say, do good to the godly man.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a cousin that's addicted to drugs. Don't let them live inside of your house and live off of your money because you're supporting their drug habit. You're gonna sit there and give your drug addicted cousin, you know, food and housing and this and that. The money that they get, they're going to use to support their drug addiction. Don't do that. That's not showing them love. You know what I mean? Showing them love is what we do in the ISUPK. You know what I mean? Like you absolutely love your aunt for going to class and teaching the things that you do. That's a very honorable thing. Salaki.
Salaki, sir, I was looking for the scripture where it talks about not following God's laws. And it was telling when people, it was telling the Israelites, if you found somebody that wasn't following God's laws, you should, you know, unalive them.
Oh, that's in Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy.
Yeah, and if I think if you're a family, you even hear them speaking on worshiping an idol.
Yeah,
it's a commandment to unalive them.
And I was trying to find that scripture. You're not saying I'm about to go up to the hospital and unalive my auntie. No. What I'm saying is that the Most High God, right, the creator of heaven and earth, right, said to his own people, right, that if you don't follow my law, statutes, and commandments, those that are should unalive those that are not. And that, you know, the reason why is to keep sin from going on for 4,000 years. Is keep you not to be smoking weed for 4,000 years so that you won't develop, you know, heart cancer and heart failure and lung cancer and things of that nature just from smoking weed, right? It also tells man not to lay with man as womankind in the book of Leviticus so that you won't get AIDS and monkeypox, right? It's a reason. Say it again, sir.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, I'll read that verse when you want it.
Please.
Come on, this is Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 2. It says, if there be found any among you within any of thy gates which the Lord thy God giveth thee, man or woman, that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God, in transgressing his covenant, and hath gone and served other gods, and worshiped them.
Shiva is the other god, right? And to worship Shiva, you got to smoke weed.
Yep.
So when you put this weed, right? When you mix that, when you put that weed in that blunt and fire it up, right? Even though you say, I'm not worshiping Shiva. Yes, you are, because that's what they did to worship Shiva. Right? When you get high, you worshiping Shiva. And we're worshiping Shiva, that's another god. And we're worshiping another god. The Lord says to do what, sir?
Either the sun or moon or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded,
Mm-hmm.
and it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently.
So it was told to thee, because we telling you now. We telling you now. So if you smoking weed, you might want to put it down, because now you've heard the priests and prophets, right, speak the word of the Most High God and say not to smoke this weed. Please continue, sir.
God, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman, which have committed that wicked thing, unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die.
Stone them with stones till what?
Till they die.
So understand that the Most High God is telling us, Israel, right? Those individuals that's smoking weed, right? If we are supposed to take them to the gates and stone them with stones until they die. So this is what God did to his own people, right? He had his own people walk them out to the gates, right? And basically, you know, that was back then, that was the firing squad. So he put you in front of the firing squad. The difference between the firing squad now and the firing squad then is that now the firing squad, only one person has a round in the chamber. Everybody else does not have a round in the chamber, and they fire at whatever individuals is to be executed. Back then, everybody had a rock, and you better hit them in the head if you want to be humane, right? If you want to be humane with this person, if you love this person, and they doing these idol worships, take them out to the gate and throw this rock and hit them in the head. So, you know, and the reason why is that some people ain't got good aim as you. So the ones that hit him in the chest, the ones that hit him in the arm and the knee, those can cause a lot of torture, a lot of pain. Right. But this is what the Most High God said for our people to do to our people if they worship these false idols. Now, that's just not talking about smoking weed. Your Christmas tree is a false idol. Halloween is coming up. That's the worship of ghosts and goblins, false gods. If
I may,
ghosts and goblins, go ahead, sir.
You know, because it's like when you don't do this, when you don't unalive the people that get caught up in this nonsense, like we're looking at the remnants or the what's the word, the punishment, or we're looking at the fruit of making these poor decisions and worshiping these idols. Like when you look at this is something that brothers and sisters got to look into. There's a community of Jamaicans that went to Shawa Shanma, Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they are destroyed as a people. You had Jamaicans who you know, went out to the country. I forget what city that was called, but they went out in Jamaica where they could just be free to worship Shiva, free to be Rastafari and then worship Haile Selassie. And man are they so fucked up and destroyed as a people.
As a people.
You know what I mean? Like it's such a sad thing to see the children of the people that believed in this, you know, born in Ethiopia and, you know, absolutely destroyed out there because their parents took them out there on some fuck shit. Like, that's just, you know, one example. You know what I mean? You can look in whatever ghetto in America, whatever barrio, you know what I mean, all throughout North and South Central America, and you watch a people that worship idols and continue on with that madness, man, are we so destroyed as a people. You know what I mean? Like there's reasons to cutting off evil from Israel. You know what I mean? I'm proud when I hear Benjamites talk about, you know, burning homosexuals and stuff like that, because I'm not advocating for doing this, but I can understand why you wouldn't allow this evil to continue. You would save women from being molested as children. You would save men from being molested as children. You understand? There's certain things that continue on over and over, generation after generation, because we don't rid evil from Israel. Salaki.
If I may add, sir, that, you know, what's so heavy what you're saying about the homosexuality is that would eliminate just for brothers following laws, statutes, and commandments, and sisters too. The homosexuality would eliminate, right, immediately HIV and AIDS from our community. Right? Almost eliminate monkeypox from our community. Right? Understand, how did these brothers become homosexual? 99% of them say, right, and the sisters, they say that somebody, you know, SA'd them when they were younger, right? So think about the things that the community wouldn't have to fight against, right? The sin that you would remove from our communities just because we no longer have the LGBTQ in our community, right? Think about how much money you would save if you didn't have to spend money on Christmas in a couple of months, right? You only have to spend money on Christmas and birthdays and Halloween. Just think about the money you would save, not the fact that the Lord says to take you out to the gates and bust you in the head with a stone because you're doing these things, right? Because I always hear my people say, if I know better, I do better. When we read in these scriptures that we was not supposed to eat pork, I didn't say why we can't eat pork, right? I didn't say why we can't eat crab, shrimp, and lobster. I said, okay, the scriptures say not to eat it. I end up learning down the road because eating pork, who has the highest rate of blood pressure issues in our community, right? In United States, it's our people, because we have a totally unlawful diet, right? And from eating these things for so long, your body starts to break down. Eating shellfish, your body will start to become bacterial resistant, right? So, I mean, it will become the antibiotics to the bacteria, the antibiotic start to resist antibiotics. So these bacteria will invade your body and you can't get rid of it. That's from eating shellfish, right? I heard a rapper say he ate so much shrimp, he got iodine poisoning, right? I had to put that rap out there from the southern aspect, right? So he ate so much shrimp, he got iodine poisoning. No, eating shellfish, you could develop a flesh-eating disease. And if anybody knows about this flesh-eating disease runs through your body in a matter of days to unalive. It eats you up that fast in days. You can get heart disease, or you can get cancer, and it doesn't destroy you as fast as a flesh-eating disease will. Right? In order to stop the spread of a flesh-eating disease, a lot of times you have to have limbs removed. Right? And if you are to develop it in the head, neck, and shoulder area, it could cost you your life. But a lot of times people get these flesh-eating disease, and some of them starts off in the limb.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else, sir?
No, we can end up the class.
You want to take us out? And
yeah.
Yep.
Again, water for everybody tuning in. All right, this is another Monday night history class. We might do a part 2 on this class. There's a lot of information to bring out. A lot of information for our people, and it's so important that you learn your history from a people that are your people, not learning your history from your oppressor. They'd have you believe that we were swinging off trees, getting high, uncivilized, not knowing that we have such a rich culture and a rich history. You know what I mean? A very beautiful culture that we should be following. All right, so with that, again, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to say shalom, Israel.